treat people as they are, and they will remain as they are. Treat people as they could be and should be, and they will be as they could be and should be. Those are the great words by the great coach Jimmy Johnson, who was the only football coach to win a national championship in college and a Super Bowl. And reading his book right now called Swagger, phenomenal book. And I love how he talks about how he used to treat his players at the University of Miami when he was rebuilding that program. And he calls it, he says he would Pygmalion them. Pygmalion them. Pygmalion was a famous, it's a Greek myth. Pygmalion was a sculptor, famous sculptor, who traveled to the island of Cyprus where he could find the greatest, the best quality marble to carve his statues from. And when he was at Cyprus, he was single, and he would find faults in all the women, little faults. So he remained alone, and he decided to carve the perfect specimen female, which he did in his own mind. He carved it, but he carved an image that he had in his mind, and he ended up falling in love with this sculpture. And he was so in love with the sculpture, after consulting on a holiday with the goddess Aphrodite, he ended up willing this sculpture to life, which became his lover. And so using that Greek myth, what Jimmy Johnson's talking about is he would, by treating people a certain way, they would transform into the image that he had of them in his mind. By using the words, proper words, and having the high expectations of them, an expectation of them that was greater than their own expectation of themselves, he would will them into a being greater than they were. In other words, he would elevate them, he would lift them up. He would make great people around him by the way he treated them, the expectations that he had for them, the words that he used with them. It's a tremendous story of leadership. He would let them know when their behaviors weren't meeting the standards that he had for the program, but he would use words that were uplifting. And as I wrote about in my book, he would catch them doing good things. He was a master observer. He would catch them doing good things. Like he would walk in the office in the morning, and if the secretary was in early, he would acknowledge that. He goes, "Boy, nice to see you in early this morning." Or he would say to his athletes, "Hey man, great job. I see you around the facility a lot, studying film, making yourself better." Or "Great hustle. I appreciate the effort you're putting in around here." That's the kind of efforts that's going to allow us to be a championship football program. So just by being a master observer, I have a whole video on this before, and then speaking it into existence, using words that are uplifting, acknowledging effort of your teammates and or coaching staff, if you're a coach, and your players, you're going to get the results you're looking for. Those words will be energizing to them. They will act as fuel in their tank and energize them to play with more passion and enthusiasm, which is contagious in any organization. But I thought that was fantastic, and I wanted to share that. Pygmalion Them. Think of the Greek mythical sculptor named Pygmalion, and literally will it into existence with your actions and words. Treat people as they are, and they will remain as they are. Treat people as they could be and should be, and they will be as they could be and should be. Obviously not in all cases, you can't fix everyone, but that's what leaders do. Get a kick out of watching coaches, and they use words like, hey, don't fumble the ball, or don't drop it, or don't miss, or those are such negative words that create doubt in the player's mind and create fear. And you don't want your athletes playing with fear. You want them playing unafraid of making mistakes. They're going to make mistakes, and that's okay, and that's how they're going to learn. If you're a good coach or a good leader, you know, use those as learning opportunities. And when mistakes are made, when you get knocked down, when you experience adversity and failure, you ask the words. You don't just get back up. Before you get back up, you ask words like who, what, where, and why, those interrogative words. I write about this in my book. What just happened? Why did it happen? Who can I see to get better? What do I have to do next time? What can I learn from this? Those are great words to learn from mistakes. And if you're doing that, then you're going to grow. So use words with your teammates and coaches that are positive words. And rather than saying, hey, don't fumble the ball, use words like, hey, make sure we're securing the ball. Or you're going out to shoot a free throw to win a game. He's like, hey, instead of don't miss it, say, when you make this, here's what we're going to do after Joey makes this shot. Or same thing with a field goal or whatever the sport is, doesn't matter. But you're assuming, using words that you're assuming the right thing's going to happen. And planting those seeds in your mind. And that's kind of the way I played when I was an athlete. I was pretty unafraid. Honestly, I was a standout athlete in high school, so I wasn't worried about getting pulled. I know some of my teammates had that experience where they knew if they made a mistake, if they missed a couple shots or something, they were going to get yanked. I never had that fear, and that empowered me. Same thing in football in my college career when I finally got to play after a couple years of being an underclassman and learning. I finally got my opportunity, and I think for the most part, especially towards the end, I was confident enough in my abilities that I wasn't afraid of making mistakes when I got my opportunities, and it really did elevate my performance. Being a quarterback, as I was, you have to be very decisive. You can't hesitate. You can't think. You can't worry about, those instant decisions you have to make. You have to make those with confidence. If you have seeds of doubt, that's not going to translate well at all. So, Pygmalion, great concept. Use it. I encourage you to use that. Coach Smith over and out.